Today, I want to show you a watch I have owned a few months now that I think is nearly the perfect travel watch. The watch is the Oceanus OCW-T200SB, and it's one of the more affordable kind of entry level Oceanus watches, but still a very capable watch. I've had the watch now on 2 vacations and also worn it as kind of a daily wear, and it's performed great. Loving the watch so far. So let's get it in front of the camera and take a look at the Oceanus. Now, this is actually my second Oceanus. The first was the OCW T3000 that I ended up selling, but I always like having kind of a techie watch like this in the watch box. I have a few G-Shocks that have similar functionality, but I like having a sort of more traditional analog looking watch like this too, although the stealth isn't particularly traditional. But so I'm just going to cover the basics when it comes to the functions of the watch here today. There's lots of videos, I'm sure, that do a deeper dive on that, but it's a really intuitive watch to use. And if you get one, it kind of ends up speaking for itself when you download the app. They give you a guide, and it's very easy to set up. If you do have any questions on anything I missed, definitely reach out in the comments, and I'd be happy to help, though. As far as functions go, this is a solar-powered watch. It also has Bluetooth connectivity, and I have a couple watches that use the Casio app, but for me, I find other than the initial setup, I just don't use it very often. The one handy thing with the app is it does show your battery level, so I'll open it up and connect to the watch every once in a while to check that, especially if I haven't worn it in a while. Otherwise, it's one of those set it and forget it watches, which is partly why these are so great. So that is the basics when it comes to the functions of the watch. But when it comes to the watch itself, for me, I just loved the stealthy look with those blue accents. I thought maybe legibility would be an issue. And I'd say it's not quite as good as the T3000, but it does the trick. The blue hands and markers almost always tend to catch some light to help them stand out from the dial. Even in direct sunlight, the AR treatment is really good at keeping the glare down, and the blue pops even more in sunlight, so you'll always be able to get the time fairly easily. The dial itself has a nice sunray finish with the applied logo up near the 12 and Oceanus Casio printed in white below that. Over at the 3 is the date with a metallic blue frame, and the date, by the way, is an auto calendar, so no need to adjust it. The Loom on the watch is solid. It's got an icy blue tone to it that I love, and it's still visible well into the night. Casio isn't usually the greatest when it comes to Loom, but it's good to go on this, and I suspect it's similar across the Oceanus lineup. The case and bracelet are IP-coated stainless steel with a combination of brushed and Zaratsu polished surfaces. I've worn the watch pretty hard, and so far the finish has stood up really well. The crown is a signed crown, and just below that there is that second button there. That is used to connect the watch to your phone. The case is well sized, coming in at 41.5 millimeters in case width. Lug to lug is 49 millimeters, although on the bracelet with the male end links, you're looking at an effective lug to lug of 52.4 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters and the thickness is 10.9 millimeters. It's by no means a small watch, but it seems to wear smaller than the numbers would suggest, I find. The water resistance is 100 meters, so you're good to go with swimming, snorkeling, pretty much any kind of water sports. The crystal is scratch resistant sapphire, and the watch also has shock resistant tech happening, so it's going to be able to handle almost anything you throw at it. The bracelet isn't bad considering the cost of the watch. It's somewhat jingly jangly, but we do have a signed clasp that is made with solid stainless steel. My biggest gripe would be the fact that there's only 2 spots for micro adjusts, especially if you're using it as a travel watch and going to different climates. Your wrist may shrink or swell enough that that can be an issue. For me, I have been wearing the watch, and I'll just grab it, it's right here, pretty well entirely on this Artem sailcloth strap. They sent a few straps a couple months back, and I was surprised how much I liked the look on the Oceanus. They actually sent the watch with steel hardware, or the strap rather, with steel hardware. And a few weeks back after that video, I was surprised to find the matching black hardware in the mail, which really took it to the next level. This isn't an ad for them or anything, and their straps are pricey, but you can't beat them for quality, and I've really been enjoying this strap on the Oceanus. So, yeah, big fan of the watch and Oceanus in general. I could totally see adding another in the future, maybe one of their higher end models. Those Mantas keep calling my name, but we will see. That being said, you can find these at around 400 USD, and the fact that it's on the more affordable side makes it a watch you can wear without much worry, which is an important thing for me when it comes to travel watches. Speaking of travel, I just put together a 3-part series on a recent trip to Crete and Athens, Greece. If you feel like taking a little break from the watch content, links will be below. Had an amazing time there, so that is it for today. Do you have any watches you guys use for travel? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.